This is my healthcare discussion video about medical tourism. So after watching the Forbes medical tourism video a couple times, there are some points I want to point out that I found interesting. The first one that stuck out to me was that foreigners coming to Texas in search of medical treatment, participating in medical tourism, are likely to spend 10 times more in the area on various things than regular tourists, regular passerbys, regular out-of-towners. And that's a fair bit of money being brought into the city economy. Those are pretty big margins. Another thing is how the medical center down there has influenced the businesses around it to be more accommodating to patients. Different businesses and services bringing things like housing accommodations in the form of different apartments and hotels and stuff like that, as well as even the food and transportation, mentioning the airport and I assume some intercity transportation, all being involved in trying to meet patient needs. Now, something else that the specialist in medical tourism mentioned in that video was the fact that other countries have semi-equal healthcare and medical practices to the US, but they can be significantly less money. He used the example for in different countries, you can have the procedure done for sometimes a similar amount of money as our co-pays here in the US. And that's huge. That's a great comparison. I love it. And that kind of brought me into the next bit of looking to different countries for medical tourism. And that brought me to Japan. Now, I personally do like Japan. I think it's a cool country. And they actually have a really big medical tourism industry. Multi-billion dollar. Even the government issues medical visas allowing people to come into the country for medical treatment and really just influencing that kind of behavior and bringing people into the country for that reason. Now, Japan has universal healthcare coverage, which is funded by taxes as well as small inputs from the individuals. But Japan's a leader in technology, and they're very intuitive about the innovations they try to succeed in. So they do a lot with um, minimally invasive surgery, as well as robotic surgery. That's a big thing for them, it seems like. Stem cell therapy, as well as some things as cardiovascular treatment seems to be one of their specialties. Uh, regenerative treatments, regenerative stem cells type. Cosmetic surgeries, obviously, another big thing. And also proton beam cancer treatments, precise radiation, basically. And Japan's medical tourism is mainly for a slightly higher cost from the surrounding countries for higher um, higher quality in work, higher just generally better care. And even though it's higher than some of the surrounding countries, it's still half or less than half the cost of care in the US. And this kind of, and even though that's to us a big a big reason to go there is less of a cost. For them, they're bringing in a good amount of money. They're making this a very economical decision on their half. As far as um, mortality rates and that kind of stuff affecting medical tourism, Japan's been considered a long life country type. They're known for having a lot of older people. They have a very high life expectancy at roughly 84, 85 years old as average. And there aren't very many health risks. So, could potentially be some influence there if the person traveling has done their research. Now, as for us, me and my family, we probably would be considered to engage in medical tourism. I would say almost every third time we engage in some kind of medical visit, as we do have to travel roughly an hour for nearly every kind of specialist and surgery and dentist, dermatology, that kind of stuff. We have to travel an hour to get to those kinds of clinics. We do have a local provider here in town, 5 miles away, Avera Creighton, and we do have a local provider that we go in and see whenever we need, obviously. But for anything else, heart doctor, nerve doctor, that kind of stuff, it's at minimum an hour drive, either to Norfolk or Yankton. And beyond that, it's 2 to 3 hours, whether we go to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, or Omaha. And that's just kind of one of the downsides to living out in the country, but also one of the downsides to having these larger clinics that have all the specified doctors in them is they are in a more stationary place and expect the people to come to them. So if you don't live near one of those places, you're basically forced to take part in medical tourism. But that's just the way it is, and that's my video. Thank you.